Ladies, gentlemen, and genetic anomalies, what is happening? Hope you guys are having a great day. If not, I hope that today's stream makes your day at least a little bit better. I'm coming to you live from the East Coast of the United States of America, and today we are going to be hopping back on Bro SMP. Really looking forward to playing with all the siblings again. It's gonna be a lot of fun. They fixed their sticks. They had some stick drift on their controllers. So yeah, without further ado, I'm actually gonna go ahead and join the voice chat because I think they are already on.
So like I was watching Daredevil, and there was one scene where he lost his hearing, and he was like that was actually hurt.
What?
Talking about Daredevil.
Oh, I couldn't understand a word you said. That's why I said what.
Oh no, I was talking about Daredevil and how he uses echolocation / hearing.
Oh yes, that is true. Yes, that's true. Hold on, I'll be right back. The servers is loading again.
Oh, it said that you were on, so that's why I was like.
Well, because I had joined the test.
I'm in another cave, bro. I'm in another cave. Yep, going to die again. I'm not going to die. I'm going to live. You're the one who's going to be sad that you just joined me. In my cave, what's in that?
All right. I completely forgot that on a whim, like a week or so ago, I got Twinkies. So I just grabbed a couple Twinkies from my cabinet.
Oh, wow, Twinkies. They taste so artificial, but like if you're in the mood to have them, then they're actually tasty.
Yeah.
I'll eat more than two, and like I feel like I'm going to. So
it's pretty unusual that I get something this unhealthy. So I was like, oh, Twinkies.
Twinkies are not healthy. He said this unhealthy.
Yeah, unhealthy.
I thought he said healthy.
No, I did not. I did not.
I don't know what world Rose was in.
Calling Twinkies healthy would be a crazy thing to do.
I'm gonna do this place in my house. It's like for eating. It's called, I think it's called the meat bar. So you're gonna sit there. You're gonna sit down. I'm gonna serve you, and then you'll eat.
You'll serve me?
You're gonna be able to watch it cook on the fire, and then it'll pop out and go to you.
So you're making hibachi, Minecraft hibachi?
Like, it's like a room when you're like, and then like there's like a fire there. Put it on the fire and you get to watch it cook.
That sounds like hibachi.
Hibachi.
You've heard of hibachi, right?
Hibachi. Yeah, hibachi. I know you've never done those things. Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, thanks for hopping on earlier because since you guys hopped on, I my ores finally smelted.
No, they post no matter what because the server knows what. Look, this is so much. Look how epic this looks.
That has not been my experience.
Look how epic it is my experience. I've died by mobs that are alive during all the games we're not the game. That's it. The moment I find something cool, Octopus is gonna be like, "Oh no, that's mine. That's actually mine." Where? Please don't be mine. Fine, I only have some where. Before I take ships off this. Oh. Where? Over there? Over there? Yeah, that's the fire. Where? In that corner. Here you go. Move.
Wait a second. I've got a bow. I've got a bow with Unbreaking 1 and a bow with Punch 2. I wonder if I could combine the two with both. What should I call it? Yeah, it's called Neverbend. Kind of a dumb name, but whatever.
What?
Well, I just said the name for my bow is kind of dumb, but it doesn't really matter to me.
Iron or what? I think we're 6-2.
They don't have a ton of steel.
Say those words. Oh. When I was spoken, I was to well. She's probably gone.
Oh wait, it's nighttime? Oh, never mind. I guess I'll sleep. I didn't even notice that it was nighttime.
I can't sleep. I'm in a cave right now getting diamonds.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Try.
I guess I'll just die then.
Wait, who was that? Did someone say that they were gonna get some diamonds today? Did someone say that? I thought someone said that.
No. What are you talking about?
I said that. Guys, look. I saw this cool cave, and I told the alchemist, I said, I'm gonna find some diamonds today. And he was like, no, you're not. You're just gonna die. And I already found some diamonds yet, and I haven't died yet.
Oh no, all I said is I guess I'll die then. That's what I said.
Hold on, what are you talking about?
So basically I'm clearing out the trees in my new city, so that enemy mobs don't spawn. You know, it's working, but it also means that when it's dark, like at night, I will just get attacked by hostile mobs. So
God, I literally almost died. That was actually. This was no good. You know what? Stop. Why are you so giant? Because they're demon flies. That's actually hard. Can you guys talk about the vampire bangs? And what did you just say? One of the snakes in all the Jago bit. It was a skeleton and they were like studying it. It's a giant so they didn't stand on the tube. Venom stole it. Because I remember they turned to a snake. Yeah, they turned to a snake and then you think at the end of the scene, I think one of the drums spots the venom on the ground and the bee transformed to a monster from the water. It was like giant. I was like, it would actually be crazy if I actually did find that thing. No, you know, you take a look. That's literally going through that. But and you did have to spawn for. What this is thinking is you think how it works is when you're down in there, you feed like lives. So if you alert the soul sensor like 3 times, then is that how it works, Alarm?
wait, sorry, say it again.
You alert the soul sensor like 3 times, you die.
If what?
In the ancient city, isn't it like if you alert the soul sensors 3 times, then the warden will spawn?
You know, I'm actually the wrong person to ask that question to.
You've been over there before, remember that?
So you said a soul what now?
Sir. Soul sensor.
A soul scepter?
Those little blue things, when you went to the ancient city, they were like boiling.
I don't remember those things.
Remember the warden?
The warden. Vaguely. Yeah, that thing killed me a couple times.
How long ago?
But go?
How long ago?
Mago?
It was that long ago?
Well, actually, yeah, it was. I think it was at least a couple of years ago.
Alright, how do I leave? That's how I leave.
Save and exit.
And use my elite gathering skills. Yo, you wanna buy some coal from me or some grapes?
You know, I actually would buy some coal. I mean, how much are you selling it for?
Oh, 1 emerald for 3.
For three pieces of coal? That seems like a bit of a high price for 3 pieces of coal.
1 emerald, 5 pieces of coal.
Wait, what piece of coal? What emerald for how many pieces of coal? I think one emerald for 3 pieces of coal is a pretty steep price.
But it used to be 1 emerald for 1 piece of coal.
When? Who was doing that? Who was buying it at that price?
Me.
Who?
A machine that gives you food.
Oh. That price is still a little high.
Okay, good.
You get good.
You poor?
Shouldn't you be getting good by setting better prices?
No, he's trying to uh-oh. That's hard.
Yeah, I died.
He's trying to real life scenarios in the game.
But hey, at least we didn't sleep. At least we didn't sleep.
Up inflation. I'm swindling you, okay? No, he's trying to make it as realistic as possible. He's trying to add inflation to the game.
Now that much I did gather. But dude, I'm really glad we didn't sleep.
What? Rose 280. That's a cut out. Where is it? I found possibly one of the best caves ever.
That's cool.
I have to go because I need to go. I was on a mission to go find some resources to make some more food because I was trying to find some beef. And I was trying to find some eggplants because I was going to make a sandwich for a recipe for a sandwich.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. Hey, why can I not find the exit? I thought this was the exit. You take it over here. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Get careful. No, it's easy. It was easiest navigation of the page. So that makes me like one of the easiest because look, I'm just digging through with my guys. Touched on them.
This zombie has fire protection? That's crazy.
What zombie has like, I don't know, projection or something. Every time it hit me like crazy. I flew backwards. And they have like knockback on the element. Nobody cares if their bombs back. Bro, you need to. There's so many more diamonds, but I don't have time to pick them all up. I've got 6 already. I have a great variety of foods for you to try. Got some mushroom stew. What's wrong with the spider?
Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I was trying to. Hold on, I was trying not to die again.
When you're trying not to die from falling off.
No, it was a creeper. A creeper blew me up and knocked me down.
It's a pretty cool cave, guys. I just Mine.
Yeah, I heard something about you finding a cave.
Yo, I was like one of my friends, and both of them died, and it was only me versus 3 people. Oh yeah, it's your friend that you were yelling at because do you see his head? Check his text. He was like, I was so angry. He was like, come back. That's what he said. Why did you lose him like that? Shit. No, why did you lose him? I had to go. I told him I got to go. And so, but anyway. Well, you said why did you go?
Why are your friends dying? Oh, the angry Canadian in the chat is here. It says, hi, I'm high. Work 5 days, got paid for 6 days of the holiday. Nice. Gotta take more Ritalin during school so I can work 80 to 90 hours. They're still prescribing Ritalin to people? Oh wait, no, that's right, you're Canadian. Your healthcare system is behind. Ignoring me again. No, I'm trying to survive this game.
Anyway, I was playing with my friends, and we were really getting killed by people. And so my friends were all people. So I don't listen to the last run, and I got a rift and went to the sky, and I landed on a tree. So I was flying around. I was gonna land on a tree, but one of the guys on the team landed on the tree. I was flying around, and so I was like, I'm gonna go on a tree and see if I die. Why did I get racist? Instantly, why did I look racist? I instantly looked racist. Okay. Instantly destroyed the person on the tree, not taking any help to myself. Then I was a 2v1. And I killed one person without taking any help, got the other one low to like 3 health, and then I forgot to reload my gun after killing the first person, so I don't have enough ammo to finish the last shot. Finish me out.
So you died?
It was actually so close. We think the guys are actually good at the game.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we all know that you're good at the game. I feel like did you save that as a clip?
No.
Oh, you should have. Why did you save it as a clip?
Quinn.
Quinn? Who's Quinn?
People I lost and not.
Oh, I mean, it could still be a good clip though.
Anything, okay? Where's magic coming from? Magic. Oh, he's invisible. Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah, he can make it. Wait, why does he not have any? Okay, why does the traveling merchant does not have what I need? Bro, it's a traveling merchant. See what I need.
Wait, is that the little green gremlin person?
I really wanted to. I tried to find some of the other thing. See, what's the other 2 there?
I didn't know that it was called a traveling merchant.
It's called the Golden Tree. Anyway, I'm going back home now because I found some cool flowers that were good.
Oh, nice. So now we can sleep?
Well, I mean, it's bedtime that can.
No, it doesn't matter. I already died, so you know, the point was achieved.
How do you get black stone from?
Black people.
Which is black? Oh, I think I know what that is. It's not gonna be. Oh, I might have some. No, I think it's gonna be that.
Yeah, you might. You might.
Go to another? Oh, watch it. I really want to make this thing. I'll go to another with you. Hey, are you I asked put the game on Reaper for a second.
Put the game on Reaper? Can someone translate what he's saying?
Game on PC.
Huh?
Are you willing to put the game on peaceful?
No.
Why? I don't understand.
Because we this is not a peaceful server. Are you new?
I'll go with you. I have gold. What can I do anything? Hey, hold on. I think I have to do it. And even if it's still not, I probably explode them and be lost in them. Well, no, because they're broken. Me? No, not really. You made that right.
Wait, oh, you're talking to me? What'd you say?
Well, I can bring you a there's a bubble blower. I want to make it.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh. No, you see? Go back to the so, let me search it. Let me search the list and try to find it. There's a problem with more. 3 minutes. This fun little art.
Yes.
I think y'all take it all. I'll leave it on my blue chest. Wait, no, you can't do that. What? No, listen to it. In the game. I mean, you can never come in. What am I using the game? You can never come in the game. Oh, like they can cut off those ponds. Oh, wait, yeah, I found some. Let's go. Where do you find aluminum? So I'm taking this big little aluminum. There we go. Put 3 on those back plus. Okay, how do I find a swamp of, you know, let's go to sleep, and then I'll just have to find a swamp.
That is... I don't know where the swamp biome is, actually.
Oh, there's not one near us.
But you said there's not one near us? That would kind of track. I feel like we would have seen it. Or I would have seen it if it was nearby.
Really got it before. People were really there. But I was really thought it'd be there. What's up? What's up? Again? Yeah. You found my certificate yet? It was good. No, but it was.
Man, all these trees.
Hey, have you better for the? You don't need to be a clever.
I think in the future, like, I'm just gonna wait out the night instead of trying to cut down these trees in the evening when there are all these enemy mobs. Me not having to deal with those enemy mobs is the whole point of me cutting down the tree anyway. The trees anyways. Oh, and as I say this, I see that the sun is setting. So that's prescient.
What would you say?
I said that's prescient. I said that's prescient.
So the sun went down. You said you were doing things, and then you started saying the sun went down or something like that.
I said I was going to stop trying to cut down these trees in the dark.
So there's a black over here. Oh, back. Oh, look up. What, do this? No, time to
Wait, so Cinnamony, where are you in the MCU right now?
Daredevil Born Again season 1.
Oh, so have you started it yet?
Because I finished Shield last night, and I was getting ready for bed. And so whenever I whenever I have like, another show to like, whatever show's next, I always try to start it at least a little bit. So it's like the first 5 minutes. Like I haven't even gotten that far into
Wait, so you have started it or you haven't started it?
But I got 5 minutes into it. Like I haven't finished it.
Oh, 5 minutes into it. Wait, so you don't watch episodes all in one shot? You eat them in pieces like Cheez-Its out of a Cheez-Its box? Like it's just like, oh, here's 5 seconds, here's 5 seconds. That's how you do it?
Oh yeah, that's it.
I didn't know that's what you did. Why don't you just watch a whole episode at a time?
It'll take forever.
No one.
I'll watch it faster doing it this way, so.
How is that faster? How is that faster? Because if it takes you 5 weeks to finish one episode of television, I don't see how that's faster than taking 1 hour to finish one episode of television.
5 weeks to finish one. Okay, how about this? If the show is bad, then yes, it will take me that long. Because I struggle to do like reading the rest of that skating book took me forever because it was so bad. Oh,
look,
wait.
If the show is that bad, don't watch it.
You told me to watch She-Hulk. What do you mean?
2 episodes.
She-Hulk was better. I said
And they were the like relatively good ones.
She-Hulk was like, the animation was so bad that I don't know, like, I at the end of the day, as I'm laying down for the night, I don't want to see like a horribly CGI, whatever her name is.
It wasn't really that bad. It was the writing that was terrible.
Wait. I'm not going to the Nether, so that's all place just to get some drop.
So are we not sleeping? Or should I die again?
No, please. No, stop. No, because I'm playing 2. I'm playing 2 right now. So, I just want to see. No, it's go to sleep. No. Yeah, tip in the game. No. It won't be that long. It won't. No, it will. You can do it at the end. I'm playing right now. Don't leave. You will spend a long time scrolling just to do. No, please. I didn't want to do it. I didn't look at it. It's like 15 minutes. It's literally 15 minutes. It does. Yes, we can do it at the end of the 15 minutes.
What are you guys arguing over?
I would be, or you can do it. That's the thing. I think that I don't have time to be blowing like it. Do you scroll all the time? Someone will be.
What?
I don't have time to be twiddling my fingers.
It's twiddling, not twittering.
I said twiddling my fingers.
I thought you said twittering. It's insane to me that you can't cook rotten flesh. That's crazy to me.
You can post it without posting it. Or you can? No. You can have supposed to do, and it gives you secret effects. But if you have the before, it'll give you regeneration. One of them will give you regeneration.
Rotten flesh can give you regeneration? Since when?
This is 2. That's a first thing that can give you regeneration.
I didn't catch all of what you said.
He said, so why are you in talk? Bring it over here. No, it's not. You're the one who take it from my head. You do this. So this is 2 inside of Minecraft.
What?
This is 2, right?
Huh?
The dishes 2!
The dishes too? What dishes?
Why can you hear me there? So what?
You're too far away, I guess. Do I know the do I know the difference between Fortnite and Minecraft?
Do you know what suspicious stew is in Minecraft?
Oh yes.
Okay, there's a version of it that can give you regeneration.
But what does that have to do with rotten flesh?
I don't know. I don't know why I've never seen it. I have rotten flesh. I said I have rotten flesh.
I brought up rotten flesh, but then you mentioned that it could give me regeneration. And then I was like, what? And you were like, yeah. Have you ever heard of forbidden stew? And I was like, a suspicious stew. Very confusing.
Goblin and give me all my music that I got to get everything that I got. The fireplace in our house is glowing. Look at that. Please no. Why does it look like that? Why does it look so evil? Please, it's just the way. See, that's good.
Wait, what looks evil?
There's a firefly in our house. It looks like it has 1,000 spikes on it. Very spiky.
That's actually kind of crazy. Did you guys build it, or did someone else put that there?
Build what? No.
The spiky thing you guys are talking about.
In real life, there is a firefly.
In real life, there's a firefly? I agree.
In our house, there's a firefly right now.
Oh, in real life. Oh. That's kind of cool.
In real life.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, what am I looking for now? Yes, you do. What am I looking for? Remember you said, oh, I can help it, oh, let me find some fix it and well, if I come across it, then I'll get it. I'm looking for any food that we don't. I don't see it. See it? Like, okay, so we're looking for maybe eggs? Flour? I mean, this is like all something we already have. So, I don't know what this is. Let's see what it gives me. Night vision, actually? What is the time?
We said 9 efficiency?
No, he said night vision, but that's like super redundant. I'll give you night vision.
What is night vision like in Minecraft?
No,
Oh, wait, I think I've seen this before. Doesn't it just make it hard? Like, you can't tell the difference between night and day, more or less? Like, night looks the same as daytime to you?
Darkness is like lighter to me. Okay.
Wait, darkness is like what, you said?
You can't really see the dark.
Yeah.
No. Guys, you can use that's what you do. Oh, maybe blindness. I'm blind. I'm that. Why would you want that? That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna have to eat it. That's what's good. You know what's supposed to do? Then it'll be good. Okay, so I'm looking for this is my riddle. What is it? Oh no, there. I found more flowers. You know how it is bird. One more funny racist sheep. They're not racist. Because the horns are big?
Wait,
No.
who do you think is racist? Are you arguing about whether or not someone is racist?
Well, a sheep in the game is racist. It is, because it looks like this. See? Racist. Regular sheep. So it looks racist.
I can't see what you guys are talking about. Is this a mob?
Oh, it's a sheep.
What's racist about the sheep?
Because some of the rams they have like black on their face, but then their mouths are white, so it looks like the racist like.
Oh, it looks like blackface or not? Yeah, it looks like blackface. That's funny. Wait, by the way, what happened to your guys' sheep? Y'all killed your sheep in one of your pens. What happened with that?
Ask octopuses.
I didn't even know the octopus messed with that stuff though. Over there. I thought it was kind of abandoned. There's a sheep pen with like 2 or 3 sheep. And last stream I went and checked it was just gone.
Not me literally stealing from the environment. Not me creating environmental catastrophe. Enlarging your carbon footprint given to me. What do you feel about carbon footprint? I know it's putting on people like me. At this point, breathing makes a carbon footprint, okay? You will be complaining over literal right to steal the soul. Literally everything is wrong. Actually, it's actually offensive to the earth to breathe because we're actually stealing oxygen from plants. So, we are superior. So we get exactly. No, but for solidarity, we need to all stop using at once for 2 hours, so that way the earth can be punished.
Are you anti-natalist or something?
I'm kidding. Give me some more. Just be satire, folks. You have the people that say that we should like basically get rid of all regular things.
You like Ultron. No, I'm doing this for myself. Look at this is for you too. For me, it's not too often. Okay, octopus is going wild because I found an entire plate of nice flowers. No, but I can make what's supposed to do with this. It's all there. This is regular, but I'm not you know. I'm gonna be somebody who has Olivia the Valley. Like, that's one that gets you regeneration. What? Whatever one that. Yes. What are you doing? This is a regular flower. Let's go! It's the oxide base. I don't want that. Wait a sec. What did I say? Wait. Whoops. Corn flour? Stop. I need my. Wait, is the sun setting?
Come on, give me corn flour.
Is it nighttime already?
I'm following that shit. I haven't even found what I was.
Man, I wish I had some glass.
Go try some. Wait, back vision shot. He wants to get high on my number. He wants to have a effect to himself. Wow. Okay.
Wait, who wants to have a what?
Have an effect on themselves tonight.
An effect on themselves tonight? Sounds like you're selling drugs. I mean, you want to have a suspicious stew party?
Equally dangerous.
Hold on, I am curious. But hold on, wait. I'm doing something, and then I'll head over in a minute.
I'm making them right now.
The stews?
Well, okay,
oh, good. So they'll be ready by the time I get there.
Let's go. I need to do more flooring. There's actually quite pretty flowers. I didn't need to go to flowers, but someone made me do this. No. This is the way that could work. It's what it is. This is the way that could work. Just go to the women. Yeah, no, you're not like that. Goes way home to my local. Villager, because you're not even. I can't even see you're squatting right. Please, someone, please, let me make my. I can't make my steak. So I don't even have steak. I need steak. Come on, steak.
What do you need steak for?
Look at my sandwich. See, I need something more to rest.
I completely forgot that you can make sandwiches in this game.
Yes, I've been, well, my long-term goal has been, even when the word that I want to make, my true passion was to make, sandwiches, make things.
Huh. That's an interesting goal to have.
But I was like, I wonder how much help it into. And I can make, like, salads. You can actually quite a lot of things, but we don't have a lot of the ingredients. You can make a baguette. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Why did they have eyeball and chain on me? I'm gonna do flips. I don't know, I was just walking and then all of a sudden I couldn't run anymore. What do you say? Stolen games in air? That's what he said, not the way. She's please. Oh, it looks like a... I'm walking into a super flip. It's going away now. So
Oh man, I wanted to trade with my villagers, but I'm realizing that because it's nighttime, they're all gonna be asleep. What's that lava pit over there?
Basically,
I didn't notice that lava there before.
Maybe all of the bad players are Sienna, so they'll be only players there because bad players. And then you make so that you're like, I mean, that's taking like 5 seconds.
Wait, where'd all the villagers go?
Because there's gold 6 pounds.
It's actually crazy exactly how many stories are in this skyscraper.
My kid is like the girl of
you're not allowed to do this anymore. You burn it out.
I think it's black one.
I literally have like 4 entire stories like in the skyscraper that I have like done nothing with and they're just empty. That's how big this skyscraper is.
No, it's not. Go out, please. No, I haven't slept for like 5 days. No, people go to sleep. Just give me the flowers. No, that's the first. No, because we're doing it at 9. It's for nights. Give me the flowers. Morse is not part of the party. I'm not going to do stews. This is really low. You know, I'm gonna but you said we'll go to sleep. And we'll like, oh, fine. What do you want? Which flowers do you want? These?
Wait, so are we going to sleep or not?
Here's our emerald. 2 each. Women 2 of each. I should have gotten more of that one, but I don't know. See the number. There's actually 4. Big flower garden right here. You actually. No, they didn't say you might as well. They might as well. Because I can realize. These people are power. The bellflower. Explode because she thought it was nice to be try poison and stuff. What's a hydrangea? What's a hydrangea? It's a hydrangea, bro. Hydrangea. But yeah, that's a hydrangea. You never heard of hydrangea?
I thought they're called hydrangeas.
Oh, hydrangea. If I see that, how do you spell it? Blue gourd? Okay, bellflower. Alright. Blue. Everybody come to my house. Where are my hydrangeas? Where'd you see it?
Hold on, I'll head there in a second.
Hydrate. Yeah, that's how you say it. Hydration.
I hear villagers walking, but I don't know where they are.
Those villagers. Those are all the ones that Octopus and killed.
Oh, these are the ones. They're the bartenders. I have 3 bartenders. So one sells rabbit stew, another one sells rabbit stew, another one sells rabbit stew. Oh, you guys are sleeping now?
Oh yeah, also apparently the finale for the this is circus also do it with the circus actually trying to be a girl or something. It was weird. Weird shit up. What?
All right, so it looks like one more person needs to sleep.
Oh no, I was on the Twitter thread in the creator herself.
Actually, it looks like 2 more people need to sleep now.
Guys, we're doing the party. Damn.
Oh, the party thing. Okay. I'll try and make it there and survive.
How did you get down there? How did you just dig straight down? Flowers. I don't even know where you are. How did you get down there?
Are you literally like in your house?
What is that? You're staring at the dirt. In my house, in the underground. In here? In here? No, that's the wrong house. That's the right house. What do you think? You live in my house, so I go to your house. So over here? What do you think? What do you want me to do? Okay, you're not listening. Let's go. Just go in the house. Go in the door. Go in the door. You said that's the wrong house. Okay, so this is the right wrong house. This is the wrong house. They're not in it. That's the origami. Origami? Colorful. You know, that's fair. And this is the coffee one. This is the dandelion. This is cornflower. More. I think he went to sleep. I think he's done their own side. Are you sleeping?
No. No.
I'm sleeping. Oh, I can read
Who put all those flowers there? What? Whoa, what? What's up with all these flowers? This is kind of random. Whoa! What is this? That's weird.
New bar by new meat bar.
Meat bar? Oh, hold on. Yeah, let's go down here.
Okay, this is the one made with the poppy flower. This is the one made with I don't know.
Okay, hold on. My inventory is full. Wait a second. Okay, so we got 2 suspicious stews. Eating the first one. Nothing happened. Although I'm not hungry anymore. The second one didn't do anything to me either. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, how long does it take for it to hit?
Generation one? Yeah. Let's go! I got generation one.
Wait, you got generation 1?
Generation one, I meant the next regenerate. The hell? So let me show you the meat bar.
Oh, yeah, the meat bar. The meat bar.
Actually, I can probably put them in order, but are you over here?
Yo!
You get any raw food? You can cook it on this.
Wait, I can cook raw food on that? Oh, I see. You will cook it. I see. So how does it work? How does it work? You cook it yourself?
Bro, how do
I don't have any food though, other than rotten flesh.
I need to find some beef patties, guys. How do I find them?
Oh, me? Hold on. How do I, what are you doing? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to find the emote button.
No. To sit down, you do it in this game. It makes it sound like you squat and then look down. But you can do sit over here. That's what you sit.
Wait, hold
No,
on.
sit over here. No, let's sit over here. No, you gotta sit over here. Now squat for 5 seconds and then look. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Now. Let's go. You gotta take it out. So, some meat on. Some more meat on. Start cooking it. Now you can have a cook.
Wait, so it's a legit grill?
You know what you think?
Dude, that's so cool.
But after a while, it'll be done.
So how do you do? You just right click it with your food?
Figured out by accident, actually.
Huh?
Like a long time ago. By accident, like a long time ago. Get out the PS3. See it? Stop.
Dude, that's crazy.
How do you eat it? You can eat it more. I gotta go.
Tasty. Wait, where'd you guys go?
You know what? The American Dad guy's chin is so big.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Actually, insane.
Where'd you guys go?
He left. We have to go.
Oh, okay.
Come with it. Yeah, I knew you were that.
Well, that was cool. Thanks for showing that to me. Also, can one of you guys explain to me what's up with these flowers before you go?
I don't know. Put them in some stew, and it makes like a special effect on you. Never
Wait.
know. We tried.
The flowers give you a special effect?
Flowers. Is it broken? They're bigger. They broke. I'll get rid of them. They broke our board. It doesn't turn anymore. They broke the turning board. Yes.
There we go. All right. Back to the grind. I love that I can see my skyscraper from the villages. Very cool.
I think this one's broken. I think that one's broken. Yeah, the other one's broken.
Which one? Oh, the charger's not. Oh, I mean that's fine too. Okay, well we're going now.
Okay. Peace out.
We might hop. Also, our dual charger for the controllers. Where we just now learned that the one of the chargers on the dual PlayStation charger is not working anymore. So we have to get another one.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
That's not cool. I'm pretty sure it's like a first party charger as
They
well.
had broken the. Yeah. Well. Hold on. A lot of stuff is supposed to be first party, but it's like breaking.
Yeah, it's a shame. Seems like, did they sacrifice on build quality or something?
Oh no. We're gonna go now.
Well, if you
hop
okay,
on
you said you'll hop back on later.
I like the stream. I'll hop on the stream a little bit. But
Oh, you'll watch?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Okay, hold on. Let me call it. Okay, bye.
All right, bye. The Fletcher. Just the man I need to make me rich, that is. There we go. Oh, I thought I still had more sticks left. Dude, I'm giving him so many sticks, it's actually kind of crazy. Well, yeah, I'm out of wooden planks now. You know what? I'm surprised that my villagers have not been like growing in population. I think I just need a wait, is the sun setting already? Dang. I think I need like a farmer or something. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that none of the villagers became farmers too. How come he never goes upstairs? He's the only one who never goes upstairs. Dude, I got 50 emeralds. That's almost a stack, bro. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those bowls. I'm gonna go back to my small village, buy some bread from a villager, and then take it back to my skyscraper, see if I can get the population to grow a little bit more. And then hopefully I can get a farmer over there. Because there's really just like a whole farm that has not been harvested. Because nobody decided to be a farmer. Crazy how much XP they gave me. Is Fletcher the only job that's here? Nice, nice. Bro was just up here by himself. Are there any other villagers up here in these higher levels? Oh yeah, there is. Well, there's one. But literally only one. What does that noise mean? Nice. Well, now the population's growing a little bit. I'm out of cobble. I left it back at my my main house. It's actually crazy how quickly the days go by in this game. It feels like I just like blink my eyes and it's already nighttime. Now, one thing I want to do is literally grow the population, like constantly, until I get a farmer. Like, it's ridiculous that I still have no farmer. What are they fighting over? lot of those dying zombies. Nice, I'll take the XP, thank you very much. So I guess the zombie was chilling over here because there's a lot of shade. That makes sense. Well, I've got 51 emeralds, so I can go back and buy some more bread. Oh wait, hold on. That's the guy I was looking for. Where'd all my emeralds go? That's crazy. All right. I wonder if any villager will bite. Oh, is he stuck? He's probably stuck. That's crazy. Let's go. I don't know if that'll do what I want it to. I hope it will. Whatever. Time's a wasting. Time's a wasting. We are literally losing daylight. Well, we are literally losing figurative daylight. This is not real daylight. You know what I mean. Dude, the sun's already setting. That's crazy. Man, what? I will say though, I've kind of made quick work of this wood. Oh, that's crazy. Someone literally shot a firework outside. And I was like, what is this? All right, y'all, the zombies and stuff are gonna be out in full force tonight, so I should get back into the building. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna see what's going on with these fireworks. Because I low-key don't think that people are supposed to be just blasting fireworks. Like, these are not, like, very far away from me. You know, so it's like, if I'm just in a building Fireworks really shouldn't be going off this close to where I'm at, but yeah, I just want to go out and take a peek and see what's going on. Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm not sure how, but some people got their hands on like some legit fireworks, and they're just like setting them off from the ground. They're not exploding very high from ground level either. Oh, that kid. I was hoping that he would go over there and become a farmer. Yeah, I don't think a leather calf will do much. I wonder how much longer it would take for me to trade with these villagers before they get tired of me selling sticks for emeralds to them. Oh shoot, I'm in this guy's way. I didn't mean to buy those. I didn't mean to buy those arrows, but okay. Dude, look at how much space I've cleared out. I am really looking forward to when I'll be done with all this stuff, and then I could get to like more building projects. I was just sick and tired of having to deal with, you know, enemy mobs and stuff like over and over and over again. I feel like eventually I should also probably cut down the trees next to the borders of the place, but in the inside is going to be the first priority. I guess I'll get rid of that other cap. I was trying to think of what I should trade away. Now, where did he come from? Also, why is he following me instead of like staying in the shade where he won't die? Are there more zombies over here? Yeah, I'm not really seeing any more zombies. Figured I'd check. A whole lot more people are chilling down here, even though there's nothing for them to do. See, the nice thing about this village is that I don't have to worry about it being nighttime or not. Yeah, I don't think I need any shovels right now. What am I supposed to do with those books? Yeah, there we go. I think that gets rid of about all the disposable things I had. I need to go out and get more coal. So much copper. I got more copper than I even know what to do with. All right, so I'm gonna buy some food. Well, actually, I'm gonna sleep first. Come on, it would be awesome if I go over there and there's a farmer. That's the huge reason why I really want the population to expand here. Because if I can get a farmer, like farmers give out bread, which is a really good food source to have. I know there are other food sources, but I think bread might be my favorite if it's not rotten flesh. The cool thing about rotten flesh is that it's super plentiful and it doesn't really hurt you in any meaningful way. There's a villager. He's not a farmer, but he's here. Wait, what type of villager is he? Toolsmith. He's gonna sell bells? Okay. 31 is steep, but... How come I never see any of the villagers sleeping up here? Despite this being where all the beds are. Well, okay. Not all of these rooms have beds, but you know what I mean. Dude, so many villagers. Let's go. Ah, I remember this sound from the Cartoon SMP village. All right, well, I'm gonna tap out the world for now. That was a lot of fun. Here, hold on, let me close this out. But yeah, so there was a little bit of news that I wanted to cover. Here, let's see. Yeah, so there are a few things I wanted to pull up. Yeah, because there was this one clip that I wanted to play for you guys. I watched it on my phone. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So this is where the clip is. Okay, so I watched the entirety of Donald Trump's speech, which was held at the America 250 event, which, by the way, I do think that the event in general was kind of, it seemed pretty cool. Trump gave his speech. There was some really good musical performances. There was some pretty good musical performances preceding him. He gave his speech, and then the fireworks went off. It was a high quality production. I did think that was neat, but I did want to discuss this part of the Trump speech because I agreed with much of what Trump said. Not all of it for sure, but a lot of things that Trump said I thought were agreeable. However, I wasn't the biggest fan of this.
And tonight, President Trump is delivering a speech right here on the National Mall. But last night, he was at Mount Rushmore with a warning. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
Oh, actually, hold on. I thought this was going to be a clip from the 250 speech. I didn't know that. I wonder if this is going to be in the same vein.
Reports.
Tonight, President Trump headlines a salute to America on the National Mall. He teased his speech on Truth Social, writing, despite the...
Yeah, hold on. Wait a second. I don't think this is what I'm looking for. Wait, here we go. I think this might be it.
Severe thunderstorms impacted President Trump's 4th of July celebrations, but nothing stopped him from golfing today. The president returned to the White House after visiting his Virginia resort. CBS's Torian Small is at the White House with more.
Jerica, good evening. The president said
this is not it either. This is not it either.
And tonight, President Trump is delivering a speech right here on the National Mall. But
Okay, I think this might be it. Okay, I'm gonna give this a try. Okay. I think this is the clip that I was looking for.
America will never be a communist country.
And I don't want America to be a communist country. Okay, to be clear.
There has never been anything like us anywhere on earth, and we are not going to let anyone take that away. Yet as we approach this magnificent anniversary, we see our American identity under a renewed attack. A generation after we fought and won the Cold War against the menace of communism, there is now a resurgence of the communist menace in our land, including from newcomers to our country who embrace ideas totally opposed to our way of life and our great success.
That's true.
These are not mere political disagreements like differences over taxes or regulations. Communism is a mortal threat to American liberty. Now, this kind of rhetoric, I do not like. I don't like this type of rhetoric. He goes even further, though, in this speech. It is the greatest threat to our country, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, or even 9/11. We're not going to let this happen to us. I will say that, as far as communism being a threat to America, if communism ends up becoming part of American policy, I would say, sure, you could argue that it would cause more damage to the United States of America than 9/11. Believe me, we're not letting it happen. Because communism is the enemy of free people everywhere in the world. Never. Okay. Yeah, and I agree with that. See, the thing with Trump is, I agree with 80% of the things he says, maybe, but then he goes further, and I'm like, hold on. And you're about to see what I'm talking about here with this speech in particular. Works. It's the enemy of the Constitution. Above all, it's the enemy of July 4th, 1776. It is the enemy indeed. Even while the radicals and extremists attack our incredible history at every turn. They are silent on the miserable history of communism itself, because it never worked. Thousands of years, if you look at it, under different names, under somewhat different ideologies and systems. That system has led to more death and destruction than any system ever tried. It killed 100 million people just in the last century alone. Communism is the exact opposite of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's death, tyranny, and the pursuit of evil. The godless communist morality states that anything is justified to bring about inhuman visions and to really propose what's good. They don't want good. They don't love God, and they don't want God. They don't love religion, and they don't want religion, and they won't have it.
That is an interesting hallmark of communism. I think that more Christians should take into account that typically under communist regimes, they do tend to trample down upon religious freedom. I think part of that is, one thing about religion is that it tells its adherents to listen to someone other than the governing authorities primarily. So let's say the governing authorities tell you to do X, but according to religion, it's a sin to do it, and so you're supposed to do Y. Religious people, by and large, will go against the government and go do Y instead of X. So communism likes having control over its populace. They don't like resistance. They don't like disagreements. They don't like dissent, and they want people to go and lock stuff with the regimes. So they will stamp down on religious freedom to kind of get rid of that mindset of, oh, let's go to God first rather than the government for any issues that we have, or for decision making.
We will not let them win. They have no chance against us.
And I wish that. I hope that's true. We'll see.
Law, justice, principle, tradition, or your God-given rights. It's an ideology of mass theft, mass control, mass lies, and mass murder. Such doctrines can be given no quarter in a democracy, because the first thing they do when they get into power is turn around and destroy it. It always is destroyed, just as communists have done in other countries all over the world, no matter where you look.
True.
Very simply, communism represents the worst ideas and abuses in history by the worst people. The American founding represents the best ideas and traditions in history by the best people like you. You can be loyal to Karl Marx, or you can be loyal to America. You can be a communist, or you can be a patriot. You cannot be both. As for those who peddle Marxist lies about our heritage, who tell our children that we live on stolen land or that our heroes were oppressors, they're doing something much worse than slandering our past. They are slandering and attacking our future. Not going to let that happen. They're trying to tear down the great American character, to destroy the people who declared independence, who crossed the Delaware, who settled the West, and who conquered the skies. You know who those people are. But we will never let that happen. Our American ancestors did not shed their blood at Concord and Trenton, Gettysburg and Shiloh, Midway and Normandy, just so that a band of thieves, radicals, and lunatics could come in and loot and pillage our nation. Our heroes died to win, build, and to save, and to build truly a great country, the greatest country ever in the world.
Okay, and on that, I
so
agree.
On the eve of this 250th anniversary of American heritage, we resolve and swear for all to hear that the citizens of the United States of America will vanquish communism quickly. Don't let them take too much of your time. You know they're wasting your time, don't you? But we're not going to let them take too long or too much of our time as they play their games and send them into exile. We will send them quickly away, and we will continue to build our country bigger and better and stronger than ever before. America will never be a communist country.
Now, see, the one thing is, he didn't include that clip did not include the part that I thought was most damaging, which was when Donald Trump said, we don't want communists in our country. I did not like that quote. I did not like that line. And I didn't like the general tenor of what he was saying there, because yes, communism is bad, and the president of the United States absolutely should be railing against it. But the problem is that when you say things like, we don't want communists in our country, that signals to me that you're going to try and bring back McCarthy era laws that say, oh, if you're a communist, then you're a traitor to the country and you deserve to be thrown in jail and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that would be fair at all to do, especially because, of course, America is a nation founded on freedom. Even when it comes to McCarthyism, I think it was more understandable in that era that you would think that a communist might be a traitor. But now you have a lot of like homegrown Americans who are communists, people who were born and raised here, not like foreign agents from Russia or China, like I think you probably did have and around the time when McCarthyism was alive and well. But because there's so much diversity of thought now in the United States from bona fide Americans, not double agents, not foreign adversaries, not enemies infiltrating the country, legit Americans thinking, oh, communism is a great idea. I don't think that it is fair at all, or right, or just, or good to be like, we're just gonna get rid of all of the communists. So hopefully this is all talk and there's no action, but even the talk is dangerous because it sort of puts it on the table and makes it seem more reasonable to be like, yeah, we'll just jail all the communists. Like, that would send our country into a dark and dangerous place. You know me, right? I did that 4th of July video where I, bragged about how great our First Amendment protections are for free speech. That's my favorite, and I think the most important value that the United States of America has, being a Christian, and seeing how countries that don't have such free speech protections have trampled on the rights of Christians. Just thinking of examples off the top of my head: Canada, the UK, England / Britain, and China. All have trampled down on the freedoms and abilities for Christians to get together and worship God, specifically because they don't protect the First Amendment like the United States does. So I would hate to see the end of that. The end of that is kind of going to be the type of thing that would make me say, hey, America might not be the greatest country in the world, right? So it'd be a shame for us to lose the freedom that we have there with the First Amendment. And hopefully this is not something that occurs where, we start targeting communists. I will absolutely be the first person to call it out if that happens. But yeah, hopefully this is just all talk. All right, we've got this newish video from Reason TV. It's called "The Last Time NYC Elected a Mayor Like Mamdani and Ended in Bankruptcy." I'm actually not aware of this history.
Zohran Mamdani and his supporters have been milking the Knicks championship, acting like winning at basketball spells victory for the mayor's signature policy ideas, like freezing.
No, I think one of the things about being a mayor is that you're supposed to celebrate the cultural victories of the place in which you reside. So, if someone from New York City wins an Emmy Award, then you'd be like, yeah, that's cool. If you your local sports team wins a championship, yeah, you party with the populace and you take pictures with the athletes. That's what you do as a mayor. I think it's a little unfair to criticize Mamdani for doing mayoral things when he's the mayor of New York City.
Rent, opening government-run grocery stores, and taxpayer-financed daycare for 2-year-olds. This is your city on socialism, tweeted the New York chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America.
Maybe all we needed was a socialist mayor to save everything.
Wait, is that Kennedy? Huh. Yeah, that's Kennedy from she's from Fox News.
Or maybe not.
These past months have shown us anything. It is that socialists not only understand economics just as well as the capitalists who came before, but that we can solve their years of mismanagement through an embrace of our principles.
To be honest, how great is socialism?
Amazing.
Right?
10 love socialism.
Okay, good. Who's your favorite philosopher?
Marx or Hegel. Hegel's transcendent.
Yeah.
Hegel set the groundwork for everything.
I have thought often of the Margaret Thatcher quote. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. If anything, my friends, it seems that you eventually need a socialist to clean up the mess.
Why can't it just be a qualified person? It's like you're selling me on something.
You should not be taking a victory lap when you have no job growth, in fact, job loss in the private sector.
Attorney Richard Farley is the author of the recent history book, Drop Dead, which explains why New York City's government went bankrupt in the 1970s. That was a dark period in New York history that happened to coincide with the last time the Knicks won a championship.
Wait. So you're telling me that history rhymes? You're telling me that history rhymes? That's
The mayor was John Lindsay, whose policies helped turn New York to ruins. Now that's a city on socialism.
The similarities, I think, are spot on. Lindsay and Mondani are both handsome, and Mondani's first budget does contain things that are reminiscent of shenanigans that were played back during the 1960s and 70s. They've tapped into reserves that are supposed to be there for when you have bad economic times. The recent budget scaled back pension contributions. It's just saying, I'm not going to pay my bills this year. That's exactly what Mayor Lindsay did. Very irresponsible.
But the budget is balanced, so if it's balanced.
They're saying it's kind of gimmicks because he just sort of moved some stuff around and deferred things for a little while.
So?
Mondani's balanced in the budget.
It's crazy. It's crazy because, yeah, what Mondani did was he made some cuts, but I think a bulk, a plurality, I think, of the budget, he literally borrowed more money from the state itself, and then he also kind of like deferred some payments, I believe. So all of that money is gonna have to be paid back in the future. It's literally like being like, you know what? I can't afford my rent this month. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take out a loan and then pay the rent, and then it's good. We're all balanced. Like, no. You still have a hole of debt. It's just who you owe is different, but you're still in the hole. You're still in the red.
By having unrealistic assumptions and by not paying your bills, as evidenced by the deferral of the pension contribution.
Also, he shouldn't have tried. He shouldn't have even tried to balance the budget. I don't know why he did that. I can't remember if this was a promise that he made during the campaign, which if so, I understand feeling like you need to, deliver on your campaign promises. But this is not the way to do it. It would have been better just to be like, okay, we'll make a few cuts here, and we'll gradually be making cuts every single year to get to a point where we're at net zero.
Ultimately, the bill is going to come and we're not going to have enough money to pay it.
I guess that's true, but I don't actually have all the figures in front of me. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not going to take your word for it.
You have to trust me. I'm wearing a caftan.
Oh, well, in that case.
Do you know that in New York City, we spend $40,000 a year per student in the New York City public school system?
Sure, I guess.
You could send them to a nice boarding school for that amount of money.
The top 1% pay 40% of New York City's personal income taxes, and Mamdani just pushed through a new wealth tax that makes the city even more reliant on top earners.
When I ran for mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich.
Making New York less attractive to the wealthy or to be alienating the financial services industry is suicidal.
I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-à-terre tax, like for this penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million.
The city ought to be bending over backwards to keep these employers creating high-paying jobs in the city.
Yeah, because they are in the process of driving away the rich as well as all the people that they employ.
If the people who have the money leave.
Bye.
Well, I mean, where's he gonna get his pins from for his emo jacket? You know, I mean, for someone who's going to be all about hating on capitalism, I mean, to be fair, to an extent, you're putting your money where your mouth is by having a Toronto Blue Jays pinned there, which is certainly not nearly as capitalistic of a society as the United States, despite being mostly capitalist. You know, you've got all these pins and stuff on your shirt, you know, that all came from capitalist frameworks, I think, unless it was all homemade. You know, accessories, glasses, sunglasses, chains. These are all things that are made by companies who employ people to put those things together and then ship them out to you. So, you know, you want to say bye to the rich, well, bye to your pins. No more pins for your jacket, buddy. No more sunglasses.
Leave.
Bye. The largest contributing factor to the fiscal crisis of the 1970s was the exodus of high-paying jobs.
That opens up housing.
Does it?
Well, it started.
Okay. So, are you gonna move?
I mean, in theory, that could open up housing. I think the problem is these mansions that the rich own. They're either not going to sell for, you know, affordable prices for someone like him, or they're just literally not going to be sold. They're going to hold on to the property despite leaving. They're going to hold on to the property and then sell it once the economic situation becomes more favorable again.
Move into Ken Griffin's $238 million penthouse.
I have a rent-stabilized apartment. Why would I move? If you can afford your apartment, would you leave?
I can't afford my apartment.
And you're not leaving, are you?
It's not rent stabilized.
Well, I got lucky.
For every tenant that gets lucky, there's one or more who are unlucky.
That's why we have a housing problem. That right there.
No, that's actually not why.
Yeah, and it is.
Now people still able to afford to live in this city.
Yes, and the people who live in rent-stabilized housing never leave.
Yeah, so what's interesting is, and you should go check out Hoog's YouTube channel. He's got a lot of videos about housing crises in Europe, and one thing that's very interesting about housing crisis is that you always have people who, at least when the system begins, when you're sort of like transforming housing systems, you've always got people, at least in the beginning, who have access to high-quality housing. Right. A lot of what you see is big apartment complexes with high quality of life, either that or high density, so that there's plenty of housing for lots of people. But eventually you start running into issues. Either maintaining the apartment outside of a capitalist system is too expensive to do, so things just start deteriorating and falling apart, or it's not really like apartment buildings alone is kind of a bit of an inelastic system. So your population grows, and then people start running out of housing, and then you've got problems there too. And then, you know, people trying to qualify for housing, but they're unable to, so they're either cramming and super crowded, or they're homeless. Now, New York City isn't going to have that exact same issue because we're not, you know, populating ourselves. The population rate is not getting replaced at a healthy rate, kind of like what you see in most healthy societies. But you do have the problem of you can't really build more housing in New York City because they are pretty much out of land to build new housing in. And that's actually kind of why people are so concerned about the housing crisis there, because it's not like you could just build more housing. It's very crowded already. And so that has had a lot of people scratching their heads and being like, oh, well, how do we fix this housing crisis?
If you're one of the more than 2 million New Yorkers who lives in a rent-stabilized apartment, your rent's going to be frozen next year.
Rent control is a subsidy of the middle class by the lower middle class and the poor, and those who have been here a while, who can stay in a rent-controlled apartment and pass it down from generation. It's like a legacy benefit. What we ought to have is fairness, not luck.
Did you dye your hair for the Knicks victory?
No, it's going to have to be a no.
Where are you from?
Australia.
I love Australia.
If Zohran Mamdani is the new John Lindsay, does that mean it'll all work out in the end? City life in the 1970s felt like it did when the Knicks were down by 29. But then wealthy taxpayers of the Reagan era showed up and saved New York, just like OG Anunoby in the final seconds of Game 4.
Watch as the ball float from the top of the arc and start running toward the basket, fingers reaching towards the heavens. We find a way. We win.
Sorry, Mom Donnie, but you can't count on a comeback.
What rescued...
Yeah, I think one thing too is that there used to be this idea of, and I don't know if this is what happened in what drove, the rich to save the New York City in the 70s, but there used to be this idea of, we've got a place. The place needs to be like this, and it needs to be the hub for this industry, which it's always been known for. So, for example, like Hollywood, I think a lot of people have had this idea of like, Hollywood is growing, let's keep it growing, or whatever. Hollywood's having trouble. Let's see if we can find a way to increase the quality of life in California and Hollywood so that the Hollywood industry flourishes. But now people are just like, no, I'm just going to go to Atlanta. I'm just going to go to Atlanta. And you've got a lot of citizens in California. You're like, oh, no, I'm just going to go to Austin, Texas. Now I'm just going to go to Miami. So we were losing a lot of loyalty to locales. No longer are people loyalists to particular cities or states. Now they're just going to where the opportunities are. So I would not expect the rich to be holding on for dear life to New York, especially as the rich get a little older. Maybe they want to go to a place where, the pace is a little bit slower. Right. So, New York City, very, very busy place, very fast paced place. And another thing too, that the rich have the luxury of doing, which the middle class and lower class don't quite have the luxury of doing to the same degree, is wherever the rich go, jobs follow. Now, for the middle class, they have to go to where the jobs are. They can't just pick a random place, just go there and then just like do whatever. Like, sure, plenty of people can make do, but if you're trying to, pursue a career, you just have to go to where those opportunities are. The rich don't have that luxury. I mean, the rich aren't stuck in that quandary. They can literally just go wherever, hire a bunch of people to do stuff for them. And then what will you see? You'll see apartments getting built for the businesses that are relocated to the area. You'll see a boom in work for laborers because those people are getting employed by the rich for laundry services, housekeeping, mowing lawns, stuff like that. So yeah, I if the rich leave New York City this time around, I think due to cultural differences, I wouldn't be shocked if they don't return.
New York City 1970s was the Wall Street Renaissance. The big banks were all in New York City. That's not the case anymore. You can pull the plug on Friday and plug it in Dallas on Monday, and those jobs are gone and not here to save us. Detroit in 1960 was the most wealthy per capita city in the world, and it didn't recover. Nothing came to Detroit to save it from the demise of the auto industry. So you can't count on pulling the rabbit out of the hat every time.
Be careful, New York. Electing a socialist mayor with boneheaded policies means next time Texas might take it all.
For Reason, I'm Kennedy.
I can tell that she was quite annoyed by that video that Mom Donnie put out. You've got this other video from Reason. This is called Republican and Democrat Take...
Happy birthday, America!
Republican and Democrat coaches take questions.
Happy birthday, America! It's been a good run.
Democrats want you to know we love America. We just don't like it.
Let me start by saying that anything Trump may have done or said this week is absolutely 100% correct and awesome.
So you just blindly follow him all the time?
Did he say that? Because if he said that, then yes. I love my job. Please don't hurt my family.
Democrats love him.
That's like 80% of Republicans, too. It's sad.
America, for what it could be. Europe.
Look, guys, anytime you ask me about something bad, I'm just going to blame foreigners, Democrats, or a lack of protein.
Mortgage rates.
Democrats.
Groceries.
Foreigners.
Gas prices.
Lack of protein. Do you see? This is just easy.
Of course we're celebrating the two.
It's sad because it's kind of true. Maybe not as much on the protein, but it is kind of true. I hate it.
150th anniversary. We just want everybody to feel guilty. So, yay, America, but dead Indians. J.D. Vance
oh, man.
said Watergate's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Look around, man. We're doing worse things than Watergate every day. I did worse things than Watergate in the green room.
I meant to say Native American. I apologize to the proud Osawapaha people on whose land we are currently standing. We're not going to return it, but boy, howdy do we feel bad.
This is good. This is
getting
good.
pardons. There are are no rules. It's like the Purge, but with truck nuts.
America is sick of right-wing populist idiocy. Now's the time for left-wing populist idiocy, yeah?
The insane thing to me is that, like, if the Democrat Party was to get me, like, I'm center right? You know, I'm a conservative, but like, it's interesting because my right-wing values are mostly on the wedge issues. For like a large swath of even of issues, and even some of the wedge issues like immigration, I have some nuance in my positions. A reasonable Democrat could take my vote in 2028, but the Democrat Party, I don't think, is as willing or interested in pushing a reasonable Democrat as the progressive left is in pushing forward someone who wants to move our country closer towards communism or socialism, right? So it's now would be the perfect time for the Democrats to retake America as far as gaining popularity, getting political power, but they're just not going to put forward the right candidates to do it, and it's kind of unfortunate.
Back of the truck.
I just saw a transgender Palestinian flag, which is
USA! USA! USA!
DSA leader says our goal is communism?
Right. He doesn't mean that. He meant socialism.
What's the difference?
Socialism polls better.
The Supreme Court proved that Trump is right, except when they ruled against him, which proves the Supreme Court is illegitimate.
Oh yeah, I hate this. So there were a bunch of SCOTUS rulings recently, and I think almost all of them were 100% correct. But a lot of pro-Trump people were like, "Oh, this ruling is a travesty." Like, no, it's not a travesty. The majority opinions were largely correct. So just because they didn't go the way you wanted, or they didn't cause the impact that you wanted, like, for example, birthright citizenship, I would like to see us have more restrictions on birthright citizenship. However, that doesn't mean that birthright citizenship as it exists is unconstitutional, because it's literally in the Constitution. So people are like, "Oh, this is a horrible ruling from the Supreme Court." No, it's a perfect ruling, because they're literally accurately ruling on the constitutionality of this thing that's literally in the Constitution.
Turn away from rugged individualism and embrace the warmth of collectivism, and this time, less murders.
Guys, even the Democrats have Nazi tattoos now. How retarded is that?
Midterms, I'm not even thinking about the midterms. I'm just thinking about how to get through the primaries without getting shot in the back of the head.
So is the Strait of Hormuz open?
Why isn't the green M&M sexy anymore? She used to be f***able.
Green M&M is attractive regardless of sexual orientation, gender, or BMI. What's important deep down is that she kills a healthcare CEO.
Everything's bigger under Trump, including the national debt. We're expecting triple digits at the end of his third term.
Prices go up because of evil, so if we get rid of the billionaires, gas is free.
We put a pair of these
what?
on the new Air Force One. You should see it when it goes to Mach 4.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is the state of American politics, and I hate it. All right. What else do we have? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find this here. Okay, so we've got this segment here.
This week marked the
This is from WTVC News Channel 9. It's called End of Term. What did the U.S. Supreme Court decide on in 2026? Yeah, there were a few rulings this year. So I just wanted to pull this video up to kind of get a bit of a summary on what was ruled on.
This This week marked the end of the term for the United States Supreme Court. In the wake of several victories for the Trump administration, some Democrats are once again calling for their party to expand the size of the High Court once they regain power. But as legal scholars point out, not all of the decisions fell for Trump, and some are warning what could happen if the third branch of government is altered. Here's national correspondent Christine Frizzell.
The Supreme Court's recent decisions prompting Democrats to call for change. Senate hopeful Graham Plattner pushing for ending lifetime Supreme Court appointments. And here's what the former and possible future presidential nominee said just weeks ago.
We talk about the idea of Supreme Court reform, which includes expanding the Supreme Court.
It's an idea that's been floated since 1937 and what's often referred to as
just like ending the filibuster. Like, oh, we should do this to make things more favorable for us. No, they're not going to do it because they're afraid of what will happen when the shoe's on the other foot, and rightfully so. I don't think that the Supreme Court's going to get expanded.
Is FDR's court packing plan. Some legal experts relieved that.
Oh my goodness, FDR. I was never a big fan of him. Wasn't he the guy who basically like willed the modern welfare state into existence? Not a fan of him as president.
Nearly 100 years later, the calls have not been heeded.
Every future time we get a new party in power, they would add further seats. You would go into a death spiral where we wound up with a 25-seat Supreme Court, and it just would cease to be functional.
While the Trump White House did have several victories this term, decisions on two of President Trump's key priorities, tariffs and birthright citizenship, did not land in his favor. The court also ruled against his ability to fire Federal Reserve Board member Lisa Cook and rejected Donald Trump's appeal in a sexual abuse and defamation case in which he was ordered to pay E. Jean Carroll $5 million. Still,
I am very surprised that E. Jean Carroll won her legal cases, considering the fact that there were some discrepancies in her story. And she also spoke publicly, extremely flippantly regarding the alleged assault that she endured. It seemed very much like she made up a story for probably fame. I don't know how many people were thinking about E. Jean Carroll before she made those allegations. And it made her rich, so I kind of hate that the appeal wasn't successful. It's been unfortunate.
Republicans have been sounding alarm bells for months. Last month, this constitutional amendment passed out of the House Judiciary Committee to require that the Supreme Court of the United States be composed of 9 justices.
How can the Supreme Court protect Americans from government overreach if the same government can pack the court whenever it dislikes a ruling?
And while many of the Supreme Court's decisions benefit Donald Trump now, some legal experts predict those same decisions could help Democratic presidents in the future.
When the court strikes down independent agencies, that means right now Trump is at will, at leisure to fire any member of the FTC, FCC, SEC, etc. It also means the next time we have a Democratic president, they can fire every Republican appointee to those same commissions.
So what do the American people think? Recent polls show a pretty even split between those who do and do not want to expand the size of the Supreme Court. But when it comes to adding term limits or age limits for justices, the majority of Americans on a bipartisan basis do support that. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
I'm a bit surprised that they did not touch on what was it? I'm surprised they didn't touch on the ruling for trans people in sports. that surprises me because it was probably the most controversial ruling, and I thought it was pretty solid, right? They ruled that yes, states can separate male and female sports on the basis of sex, which, I mean, when you say it out loud, it makes a whole lot of sense. But that was really cool that they did a firm referendum on that, because the vast majority of people, let's be honest, right? People will virtue signal, right? People try to make themselves seem all tolerant or whatever. But at the end of the day, just keep it at 100. Most people don't want to see boys and girls sports. They just don't. And so I think that we're going to see a cultural movement to sort of go back to the sanity of, if you're a boy, you're in boy sports. If you're a girl, you're in girl sports. You're not going to have boys wrestling girls and stuff. You're not going to have boys racing girls and like getting rid of that nonsense, right? Volleyball, soccer, all of that. Common sense does say, boy sports are for boy sports are for boys and girl sports are for girls. Don't try to mix them all up. A lot of people on the left have been pushing back against that, but I think that of all of the movements that the left has made, that's been the one that's the most incredulous and ridiculous. And it's actually, if you've been paying attention to how things are shaping, if you've been paying attention to how things have been moving culturally, that's actually been causing damage to other progress that the left has made. For example, support for gay marriage has been plummeting, for example. So, yeah, I think it's a welcome move. I do hope that at a federal level, we eventually get a ruling where it says you're not allowed to put boys in girl sports. That would be a really massive move, and not even forward, but just like back to common sense as far as that issue goes. All right, so we've got this. We've got this segment here. This is from Hassan Piker on The Breakfast Club. It's a segment from an interview that he had some time ago. I wanted to circle back on this and see what he had to say, because I never got a chance to really watch this interview. But this is Hassan Piker on techno-feudalism replacing capitalism, anti-Zionism, and more.
What do you think about the concept of techno-feudalism? How they're saying we're at the tail end of capitalism, and capitalism is morphing into this thing called techno-feudalism.
So another person who's been stopped from traveling around the youth.
Now techno-feudalism is an interesting term. Let me look this up so I have a understanding of what that means. So Wikipedia kind of boots me towards a section in neo-feudalism, but it says here, this is a subset of the term neo-feudalism, first popularized by Yanis Varoufakis in a series of lectures, interviews, and writings during the course of the years 2020 and 2021. Varoufakis posits that traditional capitalism has evolved into a new feudal-like structure of economies and societies, which he refers to as techno-feudalism. Varoufakis explains that, unlike in capitalism, feudal economies have the quality of being dominated by very small groups of people and predetermine the behavior of markets as they see fit. Taking the example of massive online enterprises such as Facebook, Amazon, and others, Varoufakis noted that such venues are primarily governed by the whims of single individuals on small teams, and thus are not truly capitalist markets of free trade, but rather feudal markets of stringent control. Right? This would be a command economy. Is that correct? A planned economy. Well, it wouldn't be the government, but it would be companies, right? Planned economies contrast with command economies, and that a planned economy is an economic system in which the government controls and regulates production, distribution, prices, etc., whereas a command economy necessarily has substantial public ownership of industry while also having this type of regulation. So it would be not the government doing this type of thing, but companies doing this exact same thing.
Feudalism.
So another person who's been stopped from traveling around the not the UK, but in Germany, Yanis Varoufakis wrote about this.
Yeah, techno-feudalism will kill capitalism.
He's the man. I love him. And I'm honored to see him as a peer and a colleague nowadays. But
please tell him I would love to have him on the show.
Oh, he would definitely come on.
I read his book.
He's so charismatic too. He's so handsome. He's another one of those rich socialists. Okay, but he was the finance minister of Greece. Anyway, so he's wonderful. He's brilliant. And yes, I do agree with his analysis that the new dominion is one that is being fought on the internet, one that is being fought through these tech companies. I'll give you one example that actually ties back to my own personal experience, right? So PayPal and Venmo are American companies. And when I went to Cuba, obviously America has tremendous restrictions over what you can and can't do in Cuba. These are arbitrary, they're ridiculous. They literally can send you.
They're not ridiculous. I would say these sanctions. We've got a DOP3 Arctics in the chat. I would not say that these restrictions are ridiculous. A lot of these are sanctions brought upon by the Cuban Missile Crisis. But we'll continue.
Prison for 10 years if you stay in the wrong hotel. Unbelievable stuff, right? Now, no such restrictions exist if you're Canadian.
And by the way, I believe that's because those hotels have connections to the government. And, of course, you don't want American citizens going to a foreign adversary and cooperating with the government. I think one of the I think the Cuban government has some sort of deal where it's like, we'll put you in our luxury hotel, which still is, lower quality than just like the average middle class hotel in the United States of America, in exchange for, I think, like promotion of Cuba or something. Typically when you see Americans go to Cuba, such as Hassan Piker did, and stay in one of their hotels, making a whole documentary. Usually they will only go there I don't know if at the behest of the Cuban government is the right word, but they will go there specifically to promote Cuba and the Cuban government and criticize the United States.
Or if you're Mexican, or if you're from any other part of the world. These countries all have totally normal relations with Cuba. Of course, they can't really trade with Cuba because they're worried that America will deploy secondary sanctions on them. So that obviously harms the Cuban economy in a spectacular manner. But one of these insidious ways in which American tech companies get to enforce their arbitrary rules over two totally separate, independent, sovereign nations is when, if you were, let's say, an Italian person, right, sending your Swiss friend money, and you wrote Cuba Libre because you went and you got the Cuba Libre drink, right, and you wrote that in your Venmo payment, they shut down your account. This is an American company that gets to impose these arbitrary restrictions that are silly.
Wow. Companies can do whatever they want. Now, also, if you're an American company, you do not want to be implicated in an individual cooperating with a foreign entity. So if you're saying stuff about Cuba in your financial transactions, one could easily be like, oh, hold on, what's going on here? Is this person like sending money to Cuba, sending money from Cuba, doing something with the Cuban government in any way? So it's not a silly restriction. This is one thing that some people in politics like to do, is if they don't support a policy, they'll just call silly and they'll be like, oh, it's silly and dumb. We need to change this. Well, it's not silly and dumb. He hasn't provided any backing about why this would be silly, for example. You heard him speak here. He hasn't explained what's silly about it. He just says that it's silly. He doesn't explain why it's arbitrary. He just says that it's arbitrary. So this is just a tactic to get you on his side. Now, of course, that's fair, right? If you're in politics, your goal is to convince people, right? But this is I say it's a trick because he's not giving a reason. He's just saying that it is so. And that's insufficient when it comes to making any type of argument. It doesn't even have to be political. It's any type of argument. You can't be making an argument and say that you can't just say that it's true. That'd be like me saying, hey, you know what? The sky is green. Isn't that weird? And you're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, the sky's green. That's strange, isn't it? And he's like, what do you mean the sky is green? I'm like, it's green. It's green. That isn't an argument in furthering that particular point. We've got Spring Kitty 189 in the chat saying, how did I get here? That's a good question. Let me know. Did I show up in your recommended? Did a friend send this to you? Are you in my Discord server? Good question.
On
Spring Kitty 189 says, "What is?" I believe you can look up that. You can look that up to find out what the word is.
The entire world that uses these American tech companies. And if there's no European alternative, then there's no European sovereignty there, right? If you're on American internet, if you're using American companies and they've provided a lot of new liberties for you, a lot of opportunities for you, like YouTube is another one, right? Then in the interim, you think, oh, it's fine. I'm just making YouTube videos. It's whatever. It's at the end of the day, it's not a big deal, but you're actually generating value for America. So for these other countries, they don't have an alternative. They've never designed an alternative, so they have this over-reliance on American companies. Sometimes that can lead to these arbitrary restrictions that I just mentioned, and in other instances, or I guess the most nefarious way is that it's a bunch of American capitalists that are making money off of your labor, off of your output, off of what you are doing. And that's part of the reason why, a lot of these other countries, due to national security concerns initially, have developed alternatives. I mean, in China, I went there, all the applications are Chinese. There's no, they don't, you need a VPN if you want to use American applications. And
now, what's interesting is he's lying about why China's doing this. China isn't doing this because they don't want American capitalists to make money. China's doing this because they want control over, well, the lives of their citizens for sure, but specifically the digital lives of these people, right? Because they closely monitor the internet interactions between everyone who is within China when they use these platforms. And they have way more arbitrary rules about, internet access and usage than Venmo does. So, it is very hypocritical and ironically very rich, considering how rich Hassan Piker is. But it's very hypocritical for him to be all like, oh, these arbitrary rules are so dumb, and then be praising China for having state-run internet platforms and then banning the citizens from using American platforms that are privately owned, all while monitoring their citizens, having a complex credit, social credit scores, or I think that's what it's called, jailing people for what they say online, preventing them from saying negative or positive things about certain issues or certain people. Weren't they running around banning people like a few years ago for posting pictures of Winnie the Pooh? Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? These are the types of things that will make people look at Hassan Piker and being like, and say like, yo, you're literally doing communist propaganda. You're literally doing propaganda for the Axis powers. You're literally doing propaganda for the enemies of the United States. Bro, if you put a gun to Hassan Piker's head and said, hey, praise the United States of America, he would be ready to die. That is how committed Hassan Piker is to putting down, America as it has been founded, and not only as it's been founded, but American ideals, and propping up the adversaries of the United States. That's how committed he is. I can remember the last time I heard him praise the United States of America.
Most Chinese people don't use them, or they use a VPN to go on, the Western internet. That's not just so that Chinese people are not brainwashed by American culture or anything like that. I mean, they have. I mean,
that's part of it. That's a huge part of it.
Their own robust industry. They have their own cultural output. But a big part of the reason is because they want to have financial control for the Chinese, by the Chinese, rather than give all of this give all this wealth and give all this productivity to American corporations. And Europe is now looking for alternatives as well to the American companies, the American tech companies.
One thing that Giannis talks about in the book is he talks about how these algo bosses is what he calls them. They monetize our emotions, and the greatest currency in the cloud capital is conflict. So has outrage become a business model?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's it's always what has sold newspapers as well. But
it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this is definitely. I mean, it's more dangerous than that because we've never had, due to technological limitations, this level of involvement in what people feel about themselves and about others. Right? I mean,
now this is because. All of these types of platforms and industries rely heavily on engagement. And nothing drives engagement more than controversy and disagreement. I started noticing this. I kind of soft quit Reddit, actually. I used to be on Reddit quite habitually. But I noticed a pattern with Reddit where Reddit would never serve me things that I agreed with. It's very rare that they would serve me things that I would agree with. You know what they would serve me? They would serve me in the feed things I disagreed with. And you know why? It's because those are the things that I would comment on. And I've started seeing this on Instagram as well. I don't know if I'll quit Instagram, but I'm noticing this on Instagram too, where it's like, they will never show me things I agree with. They will show me things I disagree with. Why? It's because I watch the thing, they say something I disagree with, I'm like, oh, I disagree with that thing. And then, I read the comments, someone says something there I disagree with, I reply to them, I disagree with that thing too. And you know what that tells Instagram and that tells Reddit or whatever, like, oh, this is something that this guy is going to interact with. And then that's how you get a feed filled with things that you disagree with. And that's crazy because there's a vast and robust, especially on Instagram, a vast and robust economy of conservative right-wing content creators making political videos. But those don't show up in my feed because what am I going to do? Comment a thumbs up emoji? Like, no. They recognize that, they need engagement in order to remain profitable, and they're just going to push out whatever it is that fosters and cultivates that that engagement.
You can conduct a psychographic profile on a person down to the zip code, down to the house, and figure out what time of the day where they're more likely to order a McDonald's hamburger. And then you can adjust the pricing, as many of these apps are doing now, to make sure that if it's in rush hour, they are more likely to spend an extra $1 on a burger. So they do these, the prices are not fixed.
They do that for flights too. I see that certain times where people are looking to go on vacation.
I wonder, do they know, is there
Walmart is going to start doing this soon. They're lying to you about not doing that, but they're going to start doing that soon.
Certain period of point in the day where people are the most angry? I'm not even joking.
I'm sure.
I feel like creators are being rewarded for keeping people angry. These platforms are being rewarded for keeping people angry. Like certain times of the day, you'll see something get thrown out there, and you'll spend all day arguing about it.
You learn that when you enter a newsroom. Not this is the time of the day they're angry, but like
used to work at TMZ.
On the weekends, people don't want all of that. They want to have like conversations. They want to feel good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, heavy hitters. Yeah, like that's a thing that you learn.
Every time I go on Twitter, I'm angry. So I think every moment of the day.
Now, one thing that's interesting is X is one of the few platforms that actually feeds me things that I want to see. Now, I will say I don't comment very often on X, so maybe that's the difference, right? Basically I'll like, I'll bookmark, and I might boost something. I'm also not on there very often, but every time I'm on there, it's showing me things I agree with. So maybe the key is just like, don't comment on every single thing that you see, and then your feed will get healthier.
I waste on Twitter
because I think comments are more value. I think like comments and engagement and replies that level of engagement is more valuable than a like. But if all that the social media platform has to go off of you is, oh, well, this thing is going to get a like, then they will give you the thing that will provide the like to the content creators that you like.
Moment where I'm more angry than I was before I got on Twitter.
But I'm sure you're being targeted. I'm sure these algo bosses, these technologies, they're targeting your feed on purpose with things. You probably arguing with bots all day and don't even know.
I know I am, and I still do it.
Jerry Seinfeld, right? walking down the street the other day going to the Knicks game. Somebody asked him to free Palestine. He says it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's just a gross racist, you know?
No, that's a dumb thing to say. It's a dumb thing to say. So what he means by that is he does not recognize any Palestinian states, right? I don't think anyone disputes that the region of Palestine exists. That is indisputable. But for someone like him, you know, Zionist Jews tend to not respect the sovereignty of Palestinian land, regardless of whether or not the Jews actually have either legal or effectual control over that land, right? And that's actually why you see Jews constantly encroaching on Palestinian land in what is it, the West Bank, in the West Bank. Now, you don't have to be racist to say that, you know, the Palestinians don't have a right to where they're at, especially if we're talking about Gaza, any more than you supporting Palestine makes you anti-Semitic. Now, I will say that if you're going super hard on it, you know, some people are gonna have questions, and that's fair, right? You know, it's very possible that there are a whole bunch of Zionist Jews who are also racist. Very much how there are certainly at least a few progressives who are pro-Palestine and anti-Semitic, right? You know, because, you know, you see a lot of the rhetoric, it kind of sounds exactly the same. But just to offhandedly dismiss anyone who is an avid supporter of Israel and doesn't respect Palestinian state sovereignties as just being a gross racist out of hand without any reasoning is a bit extreme. It's like, that's like going to a Palestine protest and calling everyone there anti-Semitic Nazis, right? That would just be a little uncalled for, even if it's true of some people in the crowd.
That's what it is. There's
also yeah, no, that was my point. But also, I want to say hi to some people in the chat. Spring Kitty 189 said he or she was watching Minecraft ARGs. I don't know what that is, but cool. Sayo Tick G says hello.
There's common talking points amongst Zionists, amongst defenders of Israel, and one of them is the idea that Palestine is not a real place. And that Palestinians are not a real concept. Some of them claim that it's a socialist invention. Some of them claim that Arafat invented this concept. It's not true. I mean, Palestine existed under Ottoman occupation initially, under the Ottoman Empire, and then it became a British holdover occupied state, British-occupied Palestine. So it's existed for far longer than Israel has. Israel's only existed since 1948.
Here he's referring to modern Israel. There is a state of ancient Israel which existed for hundreds of years. So I don't like the idea, the claim that, oh, Israel hasn't existed for very long at all. The goal of creating this modern state of Israel is an attempt at reinstating the state of ancient Israel as it's historically known. So, you know, this kind of plays into the concept that a lot of Palestinian supporters their arguments are effectually history started in the 1940s. And so however things were in the 1940s is how things should be in the land. Extremely arbitrary, right? You know, all land is theoretically stolen. You know, the Palestinians who were there probably stole it from some other people. So this idea that, you know, you just randomly pick a year in history and be like, history should always be like this, or these people should always own this land regardless of whatever happens with conflicts that they have with other people, is elementary and childish, I would say.
Palestine has existed far beyond Israel.
So both places have a right to exist, because I hear people that are anti-Israel, they'll say Israel doesn't have a right to exist.
I think Israel in its current formation, given that it's a settler colonial operation that's seeking out the expulsion or complete extermination of the indigenous population as an apartheid state, does not have a right to exist. It's like, for me, it's like saying, does Nazi Germany have a right to exist? Or does apartheid South Africa have a right to exist?
Well, I mean, all of those states have a right to exist. Their policies may be bad, but those states all had a right to exist. Now, it's one thing to say they have a right to exist, another thing to say that they should have massive reforms, right? And to be fair, when it comes to Nazi Germany, they were warring with other nations. You and I've said this before, and this is just my philosophy as well. I don't know if this is common or rare or whatever, but my take is that once you declare war on another state, then you lose the right to your land. So when you go to war, you lose your right to exist, essentially, right? So Nazi Germany goes to war with all these nations. They lost their right to exist. They lost the war, and they had no say, essentially, in what happened to them once the war ended. The same thing is going to happen to Hamas. They started the Israel-Hamas war, and when they lose, which is inevitable, they're not going to have a say in what happens to their land. Why? It's because you don't get to start a war and then complain when you lose about, losing things as a result of losing a war. That's just how war goes. If you didn't want to lose anything, don't go into the war.
Does Rhodesia have a right to exist? No, of course not. People have a right to exist. People do exist. Israel currently exists. It's just a matter of, are they following international humanitarian laws? And they certainly are not. And I want to change that.
So is it like saying MAGA doesn't have a right to exist, like in our current
like a movement? Exactly. Yeah. Like that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean kill all Republicans or whatever, right? I mean, I'm sure that's how people would present it as. I mean, this is a trick that every political movement deploys, right? You say Black Lives Matter, they turn around and say, "Oh, how about all lives matter?" You're saying Black Lives Matter, which means you're saying white lives don't matter. It's like, no, that's a whole different sentence. Mm-hmm. So the does Israel have a right to exist deployment as a statement, as a question, is a technique to shift the conversation away from Israel's crimes against the Palestinians to make it seem like the opposition is actually being crazy and they want like all Jews to be exterminated, all Israelis to be.
Well, there are some people who will say things like, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," which that is what it means, right? If you go back to like the origins of that phrase, it does mean destroy Israel and make the entire region essentially a Palestinian state.
Be exterminated, which is not the case.
So that was an interesting segment. I pretty much said all of the things I wanted to say about that segment, but I did want to add this one thing. Some people might be, looking at my coverage of this, my reaction, and be like, "Hey, why aren't you going harder on Charlemagne? Because, he did not provide very much pushback against what Hassan Piker was saying there." And there's a reason why I'm not pushing too hard against Charlemagne here. Charlemagne, for all of his political engagements, is that a political actor. I would argue that he's not the most politically informed or knowledgeable. And so for someone like him, who was more a cultural force than anything else, I think that it would be extremely unfair for me to be like, well, why aren't you pressing him on this or that when he is praising China for having strict control of their the digital social media platforms and stuff, and banning American websites. I am not expecting him to even have a deep understanding of why those policies are in place in the first place. Interviews like these are not even necessarily bad to have. Like, I don't think it's bad to have an interview with I don't think it's bad for someone who isn't super knowledgeable to have an interview with someone who's more knowledgeable than them, because I do think it's also useful for individuals to have platforms, particularly if they're in different venues than in which they normally speak. So, for example, Hassan Piker is a firebrand who typically broadcasts on Twitch and makes YouTube videos out of the Twitch segments, like I do. I think that when it comes to those types of figures, it is fine and fair for them to have a different venue where they can spread their message and share their opinions. And not everyone has to be pushed back upon all the time. Now, it's a little bit different if you are sort of like being like, yeah, you're 100% right on all this stuff. And to be fair, Charlemagne did say that a little bit, but not as much as just ask Hassan Piker questions and let him give answers. I think if that's what you're doing, that's totally fine. I'm not going to hate on Charlemagne for this, but I will say, definitely, of course, not a fan of Hassan Piker. I'm, a pretty red-blooded American, but it is just disappointing, disheartening, and frustrating to see how willing he is to put down America and prop up America's enemies. That's just, frankly, a disgrace for any American citizen to do. All right. Let's see here. Well, that was a stream. That was a good one. That was a fun one. I got through pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I would like you guys, by the way, to send me more React requests if there are things that you want me to cover. I am starting to see people in the Discord server say, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? Which I really appreciate. Sometimes you guys are doing that for things I already plan on talking about, which is good, right? Because that means that I'm on the right track. Don't forget, guys, to check out the Discord server. The link is dscrd.ntwb.cc, the place you want to be if you want to chat with me. You can send me React requests. That influences the content that I cover, the content that I make, because I look at your React requests, and as long as it's not like a 3-hour long video, I'll try and react to when I get some time, and then that'll go up in the Non-Newbie Highlights channel, where I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. For people who don't have long attention spans and won't sit here and watch all the streams. But I will say, for all you VOD watchers, because I know there are a few of you, if you get to the end, put in the comment section like VOD watcher or something, or I watched this VOD. I'm curious to see how many people watch the VODs all the way through. I know there are people who specifically watch the VODs just for the Minecraft content, which is dope. But I wonder if people are actually just sitting through the whole VOD. That'd be crazy if that was the case. I'd be surprised if people are doing that. The content that I make that people enjoy versus don't enjoy surprises me sometimes. But anyways, I've got to head out. Hope you guys have a great evening, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. By the way, wait. I gotta do the shout outs. I almost forgot. Okay. So the Angry Canadian left some chats. Thanks for sending messages into the chat. I would not recommend getting high, by the way. DOP3 Arctics in the chat said hi. Hey, what's up? You're a new face, a fresh face. You love to see it. Spring Kitty 189, also new to the channel, said, how did I get here? Only she knows. But I do appreciate you being here nonetheless. Thanks for sending messages out into the chat. Sciatic G? Is that it? Yeah. Sciatic G in the chat said hello. Hello, Sciatic G. And then we've got remind me of what Octoprism says to call you, but it's not your name, which is literally on your channel. It's super weird. You literally have your real name as your handle on YouTube, and then you say you don't want me to say it out loud. I don't understand. You're leaving public chats. You don't want me to call you out by your name, but okay. What is your name? Broski, Bohemian? I don't know. Whatever your name is, thanks for sending messages into the chat. I do appreciate you sending messages as well. I missed you in the Bros and Pete segment. I thought that you would be there, but no. Everyone started sending chat messages after I wrapped up the Minecraft segment. But it was a fun time. You can see me increase the population of my my skyscraper. So, but anyways, thanks for tuning in. Peace out, y'all.